So PC players are not happy with how they feel Hogwarts Legacy has treated them, and they are making it very clear. Now, what exactly is the basic shot in this game? And WB Games are still eagle watching on who shows this game's map, because well, a Twitch user did what others have not, and WB Games are not happy at all. So we got loads of things to cover in this video. A like is very much appreciated, but you can turn that into a dislike if it turns out that you didn't enjoy the video. So we'll start with PC players not being happy, and I feel it's pretty important to share this as I do want to get everyone's take on this, whether you are a console player or a PC player. So a user posted the following: treatment of PC players. We get no Felix potion recipe, which is actually a PlayStation exclusive. No Haunted Hogsmeade shop quest, which again is a PlayStation exclusive. No preload, which of course is in this case a console exclusive, even though it's an 85GB download. And lastly, later access times. For example, 6 PM here in the UK, 18 hours plus download after the midnight release for consoles, and I'm aware it's even worse for some people. Now, we are genuinely paying the same / similar for a lesser experience. Not even just later access, but less content too. I've tweeted this, but I highly doubt I'll ever get an actual reason. It seems to me they just want to treat PC players worse for no apparent reason. The PlayStation exclusives are clearly about money, but there's no logical reason that I can see for a lack of preload or global release time. Just needed to rant. And to be fair, my take on this is that I can genuinely see people's frustration here. Now, another person mentioned how all of this would still be annoying, but just not as terrible if they could pre-download, because no pre-download makes it awful because they've seen tons of people with not so great internet that technically will mean they won't even get to play the game before the 10th, and no early access for those people, and it's also pretty unfair. So what's your take on this? Are exclusive features becoming a problem, and can it destroy things from a player-based standpoint? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. I've personally always felt the PC player base, despite me actually being console myself, is technically for the most part, well, they tend to be a pillar for most game communities, right? As of course they have the ability to bring a lot of things to life, but as I say, leave your take on this in the comment section below, more specifically around the exclusive features, so to say. Now, what is the basic shot in this game? A valid question that someone asked, saying the following: is there a canon reason that people can wave a wand and shoot a magic bolt out of it, or is it a spell the main character is probably using, and without verbal incarnation at that? Is this strictly just created for the game? Now, for people who are curious, someone gave a fair explanation saying the following: I'd say it's just created for the game, because they needed something to fill in for when you are on cooldowns. In my headcanon, I'm either going to pretend it's the sparks that fly out when your wand is agitated, or when you first receive it, or I'm going to pretend it's stupefy if I have to be stuck with the boring red bolts. Either way, I'll make it work. Now, interestingly enough, another topic sparked more recently is regarding the colors of certain spells in this game, / alongside the basic shot, and how they actually wish that they were able to choose certain colors on certain, I guess you could say, things that come out of your wand for the most part. So I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. Is that something you would have liked to be in control of, so specifically regarding the colors of certain things as far as spells, etc goes? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, the devs haven't released any information on the official map size in this game, or even what it looks like, and it seems like the leaks have beat them to it, because a Twitch clip from a user that has now been taken down revealed the entire Hogwarts Legacy map, and though it's not the first ever time seeing it, it definitely showed more than others did. Now, while the text is in German, it basically provides players with a full look at the the Hogwarts Legacy map, and fans can see how the map will start to reveal itself from black and white to color as you of course continue to explore and discover new locations. Now the video also reveals that the many locations and areas the players will be traveling through during their playtime, and it looks to be pretty massive, sprawling down from the Scottish Highlands all the way to the coast. Now there are many icons on the map as well that will become clear when players finally get their hands on the game, but from the leak it does look to be a very dense world with a ton of things to do. Now, map size, of course, has, and for the most part will always be, rather a hot topic in any video game with an open world. Now, from what I've seen, I can say I genuinely do feel satisfied, despite me not even playing the game yet. But, that said, I've always said that a huge map with nothing to do also defeats the purpose. Now, there are, of course, tons of gameplay videos out there, and they ultimately give you a little bit more of a gist on how the map ties into everything. Now, I did also see a comment that stated how an individual felt that some parts of the open world felt a bit, and I quote, filler/bloated. Now, of course, your take on the map size as well as density really, at least in my opinion anyway, always comes down to what's important to you. For example, are you just flying around, exploring, hoping to have great visuals as well, or do you want to fly around and have to dig deep to discover hidden things in the game? Depending on your answer to that question, that's really what determines a map size to you. Again, at least in my opinion anyway, and how I play video games. Now, so far what is great to see is despite this game having tons of comparisons to Cyberpunk, and before you guys say, okay, well, we know they're two separate games, remember we're talking about the hype behind this game. Technically for its global release, we are what? Officially a week away when I'm making this video, and of course if you look at the excitement behind this game, despite all the controversy around it, it is already one of the top selling games on pretty much all platforms at this moment in time, which is insane within itself, right? However, what's interesting is, you know, people were anticipating, okay, well, there's a lot of hype behind this game, you know, we're bound to have a very rocky start, etc, etc, hence the comparison to Cyberpunk, and ultimately how the game will just turn out to be one big overhyped, I guess, game that people didn't actually want. But what's great, and what I'm actually happy with seeing, is with these leaks, not having the day one patch as well, and seeing it run incredibly smooth and have so many great features, just really confirms that this game could potentially be, in fact, at least in my opinion anyway, will be that quote-unquote Harry Potter game, if you will, or wizard game that we've all been waiting for such a long time. And of course, it does have multiple endings, and there are ways you can be nice in this game and very horrible. So I've listed 4 horrible or evil things, whatever you wish to say, that you can do in Hogwarts Legacy. So check that video out on screen right now.